Okay, so hello and welcome to Cooking at King's again. Slightly different focus there. I thought we'd focus more on the ingredients than me. So we're going to be making a lemon drizzle cake today. Quite simple. So we've got our caster sugar and butter already put in one pot together. We've got some self-raising flour. We've got one lemon, and we've got some eggs that we're going to be using today. So the first thing we're going to do when we're making any kind of cake is the ingredients are equal measures for butter, sugar and flour. So we've got 225 grams of butter, 225 grams of sugar and 225 grams of flour. So the first thing we do is we're going to put in and mix together the butter and the sugar. And we want to cream this together. And what we mean by that is we want a nice creamy consistency and we want it to go lighter in colour. So that's what we're going to aim to do first of all. Okay, so once we've done that, the next thing I'll do is prepare your lemon. So we're just going to zest the lemon. Let's see if we can do this magically. Okay, magic. So we've now zested our lemon. At this point, you probably also want to put your oven on. So it is 160 degrees centigrade if you've got a fan assistant oven, or 180 if you haven't. You'll notice as well with the lemon, I've only gone down to the white bit. We don't want to go down any further than that. This white bit is very bitter, so it's just a few little scrapes on the lemon there. That's what we're looking for. And then we want to get all of our lemon zest out because that's what's going to make the cake taste really lemony. We're going to add some other bits as well. So the next thing we want to do is we want to add 4 eggs and the flour. Now there's a couple of things that will make your cake much better. First of all, have your eggs at room temperature. Don't have them at the same temperature as if they've come out the fridge because they won't emulsify, that means mix properly with the butter. So you need to make sure that they are at room temperature. Also, every time you put one egg in, put a spoonful of the flour in as well because that will just make the consistency a bit better. It will stop it curdling. But don't put all the flour in till right at the end because flour has something called gluten strands in, and if you put that in and mix it too much, it will make it very tough and it will make it not as good a cake. So we're going to put 1 egg in, and at the same time as we do 1 egg, before I start the mixer, I put 1 spoon of flour in and then I put it on. Then we do exactly the same thing once that's mixed in. 1 egg, 1 spoon of flour. Exactly the same thing again once that's mixed in nicely. 1 egg, just 1 flour. Wait for that to mix in and then do it again. 1 egg, 1 flour. So then once that's all mixed in, then you can put in your flour, all the rest of it. But again, don't mix it too much. So we're going to add the flour in bit by bit. And then we're also going to add our lemon zest. And that is our cake mixture pretty much done. If you've got any bits that have got caught up the side of the cake bowl, like I have, what you need to do is just push them down so that they don't get caught up. And then remember, that's all that you're mixing it at, so that we don't mix that gluten strands in the flour too much. Okay, so before we put the cake mixture into our tin, the next thing we want to do is make sure that we've lined our cake tin. So what that basically means is to put some butter around the outside, and you can see I've put baking parchment at the bottom here as well. I've got a spring-loaded cake tin, so it makes it a bit easier. But basically, you just want to get a bit of butter and put it around the outside. And what that does is it allows the cake to rise nicely, and it also stops it sticking to the pan once we get it out at the end. So just make it so that we can see that. You can put a bit of flour in there as well. And then all we're going to do after that is just put the mixture into our cake tin, and then we're going to put it into the oven and it goes into the oven for roughly around 35 minutes, 40 minutes, but also keep a check on it. It might need a little bit longer, so it depends on your oven really. So it might take between 40 and 50 minutes. And all that you need to do is just make sure that when you're testing it, you might need to get someone else to do this, is you just put your finger on it, and if the mixture springs back up once you've just given it a little prod, then it should be ready. And then there's still a little bit more to do once we get it out of the oven as well, because we need to put the lemon drizzle on it. So this isn't just a lemon cake, it's not just going to taste of lemon, it's also going to be really lovely and moist because we get to put the drizzle on it as well. So that goes in the oven for about 40 to 50 minutes, 160 degrees centigrade if it's a fan assisted oven, 180 if not, and then after that we'll put the drizzle on top. Okay, so hello everyone, we now have our finished cake that has completed cooking, so we can see it's a nice brown and a bit spongy. So we just need to do the last bit now. We're going to get our lemon that we took the zest off earlier, and we're going to use that to create our drizzle. So just a bit of a tip, the first thing you can do is put it into the microwave for 30 seconds, and that just makes it a lot easier for the juice to come out. So we're going to squeeze the juice out of that whole lemon, and then we're going to mix it with some caster sugar. So that's 85 grams of caster sugar, a whole lemon, and then we're simply going to drizzle that over our cake, all over, but we're going to do something to it just before. So we squeeze out our lemon. If you haven't got one of these juicers, then you can just squeeze it by hand, but you need to just make sure that you don't get any pips into your mixture, because they'll be coming out as well. Otherwise you'll be trying to fish out the pips as well. So there's the pips that you might see. So we're just going to mix that in here, and then again, it might not be hot enough, so you might just need to heat that through in the microwave for about 30 seconds to make sure all of the sugar dissolves. Okay, so this is our lemon mixture now, so we're just mixing up that sugar so it dissolves nicely into the lemon. So we've got a nice lemon and sugary mixture. You can see my cake here. Now the next thing that I do is I get a pair of scissors, just a normal pair of small scissors, and I just make some holes throughout my cake, and what that basically does is it allows that nice drizzly lemon to go to the bottom all the way through. So what we end up with is a really nice moist lemon cake with that lemony flavour all the way through. So this is why it's one of my favourite cakes to make and to eat, because it tastes really lemony and it's really moist all the way through. So once we've done that, all we need to do is take our lemon and sugar mixture and just, that's why I've done it into a pouring jug, so that I can pour it all over the lemon cake, and make sure that I'm doing it evenly. So try and make sure you're getting it all over and getting some all down those holes. It's going to go to the edges, and that's fine, and it will just sort of sink down to those edges. You just get some of your spoon if you need to, and just make sure it goes all over. And then what you've got is a really nice moist looking lemon cake. Leave that in there for a bit because you've got that lemon juice in there. So leave it just in the cake tin for another good 10 or 15 minutes at least before you get it out, so that all of that syrup gets into that cake, and then that's your lemon drizzle cake. And then once that's cooled down a bit, it's ready to eat. So well done, and thank you for watching another Cooking with Kings. So it's very important to have our baking and getting our baking right, but what's just as important is this part, is making sure you are washing and cleaning up after yourself. So now is the time to go make sure that you have cleaned up after yourself, you've washed everything really thoroughly, and make sure that we're making sure the kitchen is nice and clean, because we don't want to make a big mess for someone else to clean up. So once again, hopefully you've enjoyed baking with us today, and watch out for next week when we'll be doing a bit more baking of something completely different. Thank you very much.